Hi, I'm Mike Zima, a Chief Marketing Officer, and this is how you get to $1 million in sales in 24 months. This is almost an exact ratio that I have seen in working with over 3,000 clients and contributing to their sales and success. What we've learned along the way is if you apply the program of smart marketing that Zima Media has created, it's something that you can learn, but it really just distills down to 3 key points. And this is very helpful in measuring and evaluating and growing your business. So what are those steps? Well, first, you're going to have to understand your effort. You're going to have to understand your time. You're going to have to understand the reward. These are the 3 things that go into business and into success. And when you look at effort, we all have the same 24 hours in the day. So we're going to have to get a little deep with ourselves. I can't tell you what you need to put in, how you measure in your effort, but if you're putting in at least that 8 hours to 12 hours, if you're a startup a day, you're going to achieve some great results. So when you get that reward, everyone thinks about that reward, but they skip the middle step, which is going to be time. Time is the way you're going to measure your effort. Time is how you push your project forward. So you need to have a pretty good understanding in how time flows and how your workflows work, and have a sense of mastery in what you're doing. But that's okay if you don't have it, because you're going to acquire this mastery over time. The more time you put in, the more effort you put in, the more mastery you're going to acquire. And that's when you have that reward. And in most cases, if you're truly an entrepreneur, that reward is immaterial, and you should have asked yourself to achieve something bigger and better, because you're going to not only exceed but shatter your growth goals in 2023. And when you're looking at the time mechanism, you will see yourself grow, because marketing and sales is a program. It's just like losing weight is a program. Going to the gym and being healthy is a program. You have to commit to a checklist of things and understand how this appeals to not only your work-life balance, but how you're going to execute it, and how much effort is it going to take for you to implement all of these things you set out and do. And eventually you get that reward. By the end of this, you can use reward and measure how much time you put in versus how much effort, and you start to understand how to take better risks in your business. But a lot of the time, 80% of your sales is going to come from one thing. So what we're going to do here with this program is understand how it works and help you determine what is that one thing in your business that's driving sales. Because if you can find that one thing faster, the 24-month window to make $1 million in sales starts to get smaller, and your effort starts to go down because you're looking for new profit centers. So let's go in through this video and talk about a couple of these theories and just how I rationalize building a smart marketing campaign for businesses. So here's how you get to $1 million in sales in 24 months. I broke this down into 4-month categories, because if you're making under $1 million or between 2.5 and $5 million, it's more meaningful to look at your business in trimesters. Because a lot of big milestones happen. You have summer, you have the holidays, and then you have the slow season, so it's easier to rationalize it like that. It's better to do 3 than 4, but that's just a personal take. When we're looking at the effort and how you get to $1 million in sales, you can actually jump across this timeline, because there's 1, 2, and 3 buckets. So there's 3 buckets for a reason, because if you're in bucket number 1, you're just starting out, you don't have a lot of sales, you don't have a track record, you don't know what's working, but you're getting up every day and doing this. So that's one of the first indicators. You can see here that your effort, over time, effort goes up, time goes down that way. And this is a curve in effort. In bucket 1, you're spending all the effort to find that one thing, that one marketing that's going to generate the sales. But if you're in bucket 2, you're more along, you've been in business for at least like 1 or 2 years, you're getting between 5 and 10,000 a month in sales. It's pretty good. You can sustain yourself, you can pay vendors, you're not in a lot of debt or any debt at all. And then there's bucket 3, which is you've already made that $1 million in sales. And this is important too, because How you're going to evaluate yourself is where do you fall on the effort scheme of things. Right now, I'm talking about an organizational, a broad, the uppermost echelon thought here, which is going to be adding $1 million in sales. Either you haven't done it and you're just starting to do it, you're just getting profitable, or you've already done it. The effort to making $1 million in sales starts to get a little bit more clear. Now, if I'm going to apply this to just something really simple, sales. I'm going to go ahead and reach 1,000 people when I'm first starting out. That effort is really high because I don't know who my target is. I don't know who the positioning of my audience is. I really have no idea because I'm in sales mode and I just want to sell as much as I can. But in number two, you've already made sales. You know who's buying from you. You're getting referrals. You know who your customers are. You have an email list. You can start getting more refined and more honed into what your sales practices are. And that's where number two is important. And number three, you've already done it. You've got salespeople starting to do this. You have a system. You've documented the operations and you know how this is all going to work and transpire in your organization. So, as your sales and your effort start to pay off, the time you're going to devote to this program is going to go down. Because you're either going to think about it like this, either you're going to automate or you're going to delegate. So in terms of the effort, this should all be you. This should be something that you taste, and this is going to be over time. Over time, your effort's going to go down because the viability, the profitability of the sales is going up, and you've really figured out the sales, you've hired the right vendors, the right sales team, and you've approached this, and you're knocking it out of the park. Now you want to go, okay, I'm doing good on sales, now I want to do Google Ads, and that's the same thing. The curve starts going up, but this curve only applies to the effort and the time put into Google Ads. So you have to keep those two separate. Are you making sales, your upper echelon organization, or are you doing a program, a marketing or advertising program to generate traffic? So with Google Ads, yeah, there's a lot of time and effort that go into this, and there's also an adjoining cost because you need ad budget. That's going to follow this. But over time, as you start figuring out your sales and your marketing and your value proposition and everything that goes into it, your effort is going to start to go down because you have the analytics, the business data. You've already achieved those results and you've made more money and more profit using Google Ads. That's why your effort is going down. So there is a ramp up time. You see, this is a ramp. You're going up and then you're going down. And as you start to delegate and automate your Google Ads, now you can go into another program. And now you can start looking at SEO, really start putting it together, understanding the market, the data, the research, start getting some organic sales from SEO, and finally you're going to be in a position where you're making sales from SEO, and there you go, you can start up another program. But it starts with one, right? You're going to have to try a lot of these. So one of the bumpers I can recommend is having a budget. So for Google Ads, this is a good one. We do a lot of Google Ads setups for our clients. You can go ahead and make sure, all right, my program is going to be 6 months, right? And I only have a $2,000 budget. So I'm going to split it up, $1,000 first quarter, $1,000 second quarter. Pretty simple for a test, pretty viable for a test. You want to have a lot of these running in your business until you really figure out the profitability. So you're going to do all that effort and that time, and you're recording all of your time. You have to be very conscious of how much time you're putting into a program, because just because something's making money, there is a cost associated to that. There is a time cost associated to that. And finally, you're going to spread it out over time. You're going to do a 6-month program. You spent the $2,000. You know how much time you're putting in because you're putting in so much marketing budget, and then you're reviewing the analytics and determining and comparing it to other programs. So a simple way to look at approaching a new marketing or sales opportunity is how much effort are you going to put in? How much time is it going to take? And what's the reward? Right? And you have to factor in the cost, whether it's a time cost or whether it's a financial cost, because both of those two things are going to interact and move and manipulate this curve for your results. And this is how you can start looking at your sales and marketing. You have to have a trajectory. You have to project out. You have to visualize it and draw charts and ideas of what your organization is going to achieve and write those physical numerical values down, because having milestones and goals is really important in achieving results and achieving success. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe below and leave a comment on how you've generated leads or sales for your business. I'd really like to hear about it from you. Thanks for watching. If you're still unsure about your digital marketing question, be sure to request a free marketing audit from Zima Media, where one of our marketing consultants will create a personalized video response and address every single one of the smart marketing opportunities to grow your business.